Hey, welcome to Talk Tuesday. If you've been here before, welcome back. Talk Tuesday is our weekly segment where we go over tips to help you enhance your finances. I'm Coach D, and I want to help you reach and exceed your financial goals while still enjoying life in the process. So, welcome. Today is our last Tuesday of Financial Literacy Month. So, what better way to end the month than to talk about setting our financial goals? So today we're going to discuss, just creating good financial goals that will help you get to your financial goals. So hey, thank you for hopping in. All right, so let's get into it. So while you're listening, let me know in the comments if you let me know in the comments if you have already set your financial goals for the month of May, because the month of May is tomorrow. So you should have already set those financial goals. If you haven't, do it today. Do it today. Get ahead of it. So before this live is over, definitely drop one of your financial goals in the comments. I would love to see it. Love to write it down. Love to hold you accountable. And we'll talk about accountability in a little bit. All right. So with that being said, if you've ever worked with me, you haven't set them yet. All right, you haven't said you got one. Do it tonight. Do it tonight. Do it tonight. It's so important. After listening to this live, think about it, put some thought into it, jot them down. It's so important. If you ever work with me one on one or in a group, you know that that's the first thing that we do when we get started. Set our financial goals that are so important. And I think that they really structure your financial success. So if you work with me, you've set some financial goals. All right. So let's do it. So let's get into it. All right. So first, I'm going to go over a couple of things for why I think it's important to set the goals. Then we'll go into setting goals and the types of goals. Then we'll go into how to track your goals. So that's what we'll go over today, just to give you a little, overview of what we're going to do. All right, so let's get into it. So, number one reason why I say to set goals is it holds you accountable. And that's why I also, make sure that my clients set their goals, because if you don't set your goals, then what do you have to hold you accountable? What do you have to see if you actually did what you said you were going to do? What do you have to make sure that you keep going? Right? So if I don't set any goals and I'm saying I'm going to just save, well, I'm saving a dollar here, a dollar there, and that's adding up, and saving is saving. So we never want to neglect the fact that if we're saving what we can, that's all we can do. But if I set a goal to save $500, you know what I mean? That's going to push me to, keep going. So the accountability in it is me checking my bank account to see, did I get there? Am I almost there? Am I, set like putting in a savings and pulling it back out of my savings? So really, that's the whole accountability of it, is seeing what you have going on. So you're holding yourself accountable. You're looking at it. You're setting that goal so you can see, am I sticking to it or am I not sticking to it? Am I doing it? Or am I not even putting anything into it? So that's number one. That's number one reason why we should set our financial goals, to hold ourselves accountable. If you're just hopping in, we are putting in the comments one of our financial goals for the month of May. Number two, I have one here, motivation. I don't know about you, but when I reach my financial goals, it's motivation. If I'm almost to it, that's motivation. That's going to keep me going. That's going to keep me pushing. That's going to make me feel like good. Like, okay, maybe in the beginning I felt like I really couldn't do it. It's really hard and it's tough for me. But then as I kept going, it got easier. I can see my success. I see this, I can do it. That's going to motivate me to keep going. So let me know in the comments, when you see your success, does that motivate you to keep going? Because that's the way I feel. So that's why I like to make sure that we have our financial goals, so we can say, okay, all right, I'm almost there. All right, I can do this, and feel proud about ourselves. Like, sometimes some people can't do it, some people can. But when you get on the track to actually doing it and seeing your success, you realize I can. Some people think they can't do it. I don't want to say people can't do it. We think we can't. We get in our own head, and then we hold our own self back because we feel like we can't, so we don't do it. Or if it's hard in the beginning, we just kind of give up and never try again. So set those goals. Number three, it will show you, you know, what's going on and where you need to make adjustments. That's why it's another reason to have the financial goals, because let's say I am, like I used earlier, I said I want to save like $500. So what if I said I want to save $500 and I'm saving and I'm going, I'm checking my bank account and I'm seeing the activity that I'm having in. I'm seeing that I'm saving the $50, and then I'm pulling out $10. Well, and if I see the pattern, I see that's what I'm doing, what I keep doing, then I know that I need to make adjustment. Maybe I can only save 40, right? It's better to put that 40 in and let it sit than to pull the 50 and then to put the 50 in and pull the 10 out, because then that's also something that could, not make you feel so good, because it's like, oh gosh, I'm not being successful. I keep trying to do 50, but then the 50 keeps, keeps being too much for me. I keep needing to pull from it. And that's a part of savings too. Sometimes when we try to save, we pick a number that's beyond what we can do. And that's a part of just doing it and seeing it and growing with it. So, doing that savings, doing what we can and pulling back, just check it and see what you're doing. So you can set that 40 if that's your number and stick with it. Put in there what you can leave and not touch, so you can actually see it grow. Because sometimes seeing it grow and come back down and grow and come back down is a little bit defeating, and we don't want to feel like that. We don't want to put ourselves in a situation. We don't even want to think like that. So pick your number, and that's why, because we want to be able to adjust. Let me see some comments coming in. All right, so I see a goal for May. No credit card use in May. All right, all right. I'm going to hold you to that. Okay, one of my financial goals that I will set this May is to save $100. It's my birthday month and I'm going on vacation. I want to save 100. Awesome. All right, I'm going to hold you to those goals. All right, because I can see your names, so I know who you are. So I'm going to hold you to them. Now that we went over reasons why we should set our financial goals, let's go over the way we should set the goals. So we always should set, the SMART goals, because why? Because they are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and have a time to it. So we're going to go through each one of them really quick, because I don't like to have you guys here for a long time, but we're going to go over those really quick, so you can just see how we can set our goals in that manner. So specifics, be clear on what your goal is. What exactly do I want to do? Do I want to save? We talked about saving. Let's stay on track with saving, since we've been saying savings the whole time so far. So I want to save. So being specific, I want to save $500 by such and such. Okay. That's a good way to say it, instead of saying I want to save. That's not really specific. I'm not saying exactly what I want to do. So being specific is saying I want to save $500. Thank you for the thumbs up over on Facebook. I want to save the $500. Saying that is also, helpful for you, because it's going to have like, okay, so all right, I see what I'm working towards. And then that goes into the M for measurable, because you're able to measure that $500. I'm able to see, am I getting to that $500? Did I get, halfway there? Did I reach it? Did I exceed it? Do I need to set another goal? So make it something that you can measure. Don't say I want to decrease debt, and you don't say how much you want to decrease. Don't say, I just want to get rid of some of my debt. No, I want to decrease $100 worth of debt. And don't feel like that's a little bit, because decreasing any amount is a beneficial. So set an amount, get there, get to that amount, and then let it go. And then, set another one, set another goal, set another goal, you know. So that's why, measurable. So then after that, we have achievable. Let's just basically being realistic to what you can afford to do. Don't set yourself up for feeling like you're being unsuccessful by saying, let's say if you look at your statements, because again, we have to look at what we have. What is my expenses? What is my income? What is really the difference? What can I afford? What is, my wiggle room? So if your wiggle room might be $500 a month extra, right? Don't say I'm going to um, pay or save $1,000 if that's not even in your like you have no opportunity to get to it. That's not being realistic with yourself. That's something that it's no way you could achieve that unless you hit the lottery or something. Don't put yourself in that situation. Set a goal that you can actually achieve, so that you can actually work to it, get to your success, get to your finish line. So think about any type of goal you set. Yes, we're talking about savings, but just think about it. Even if like your credit score, sometimes we want our credit to go up, right? Think about how much can it really go up in a month. Don't say I wanted to go up 300 points in a month. Okay, we want it to go up high, right? But just be realistic with yourself. Don't set something that's so high that, it puts you into the, when you don't reach it, you feel so sad about it. You know what I mean? Don't do that to yourself. So make sure that it's something that It's really relevant to what your financial situation is right now and what you could actually achieve. What can you really do? So really think about it. So we sometimes we say we want to set goals and we're just like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Really sit in it and think about it. Relevant. So with that, make sure that what you're setting as a goal is relevant to what your plans are for the future. So last week we discussed financial planning for the future, thinking about retirement. Keep that in mind when we're thinking about our financial goals for now. Remember, I always say we got to think about the now and the future. So you should be setting your short-term goals, your long-term goals, but just keep in mind that your goals should be leading you to getting to that long-term goal also. Don't, you know, lose sight of the long-term goal. Make sure that is, let's say if I wanted to buy a house. Well, one of my goals might be, one of my goals might be to save $10,000. Well, I'm also might be saving for a vacation. I also might be trying to pay my car off, but I never lose sight of the fact that I'm saving for that house. So I might have a sinking fund over here where it's only for the house, a fund here that's only for a car, a fund here that's for the vacation. I'm keeping sight of that. Yes, I'm working towards a vacation in the car, but I didn't forget about that house. I didn't forget to put that to the side for the house. So just make sure that your goals are always relevant, even if we want to be able to do that vacation now, but just make sure that we're thinking about all things, not just, well, I'm going to go on vacation now and I'll get that house, when I can get to it, or I'll pay that car off, when I can. All things are possible if you just really sit down and plan it out. Timely. So lastly, well, we spoke about that earlier. Set the time limits for your goals. Set the time limit and be sure that you're not setting a time limit that's unreasonable for yourself. So if you want to save $1,000, don't say I want to save $1,000 in a month. Maybe, once again, I can't even say an amount of time. Because everybody's amount of time is different, because what you can save a month might be different from what someone else can save in a month. So think about that. Those are just, little tips for as far as saving, as far as setting your financial goals. And again, we're talking about that because today is the last month of Financial Literacy Month. We talked about a lot of things this month, so go watch the replays of all the other lives. But it's important today to talk about the goals because we're getting ready to roll into a brand new month, and we should have these goals ready, set, go to roll into it. So if you haven't already, put your financial goals in the comments. All right, and then tracking progress. We're going to finish with that, tracking progress. Why should we track our progress? Anybody want to let me know in the comments? And I think there's a little bit of a delay, so I'll probably start talking, and if you'll be typing, and then the answer will come in. But if you can throw it in the comments, I would love to see your idea of why we should track our progress for our financial goals. And I'm right now, if you can see, I'm kind of stalling just a little bit to kind of give you time to put your comment in before I start talking, before I say it. So, just what do you think? What do you think for you personally, not for, everyone? What is your reason why you think it's important to track your financial goals? So let me know. Let me know. Let me know. And then while we get into it, I'll talk about ways to track your goals. So track your goals. You can get a tracker. There are trackers everywhere online. Shameless plug, I have trackers. If you go to my website, enhancingyourfinances.com, I have trackers, but track it so you can see what you're going on. So you can see, like, okay, so I paid this off, I paid that off, I paid this off, I paid that off, or I saved a quarter of what I was trying to save. I saved halfway, or something came up and I had to pull out and start over, and be okay with that too. Sometimes we work towards our goal and something happens and throws us off, but we can get right back on track. Don't give up. If you got that far, you can get that far again. So we can see our progress. That's right. Shows us how well your budget is working. That is right. So we can know what we are spending and what we have left over. That's right. All right, guys. That's right. We have to track our progress. Not tracking our progress is, like we talked about earlier, we're not able to hold ourselves accountable. There's nothing to motivate us to keep going, because if I'm not tracking it, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm doing good. I don't know if I'm doing bad. And quite frankly, if I'm not tracking it, then the goals don't matter to me. The goals aren't strong enough for me. They're not as important to me. They're not as, something that I really should have set as a goal, because I don't care, the outcome. So set a goal that's important to you, and I would say attach something to that goal. So in the comments, let me scroll up. No credit card use in May. Think about that and put something on that. Okay, so you said no credit card use in May. What is the benefit to that? Is that so that you can get to your debt, to eliminate your debt, or is that to, maybe trying to build your credit score, which they go together? But just think about it. Think about your goal a little bit deeper. The $100 to save, you went deeper for a vacation for your birthday. So you kind of went into it. So kind of stretch your goals out a little bit. Put some more thought into them. Have a reason for the goal that you set and why you set it, and what it'll mean to you when you reach it, to really get into that goal. So, some people think goals are so small, but really think about it. Definitely think about it. Okay. And lastly, I would just say just do some regular checkups with your goals. We always got to check it, but set a time when you're going to check it. Maybe I'm going to check it once a week. Maybe I'm going to check it every 2 weeks. Now, don't say once a month because that is way too far apart. And by then, if something is going wrong, you don't even have time to catch it because the month's over. Now you got to set your new goals for the next month, or depending on, if it's short term or long term, but set your goals and check them way more frequently. Okay, so eliminate my debt much faster by stop using my credit card. Awesome. I love the way you dug into it already. I love it. Awesome. All right. So anybody who has not wrote a financial goal in the comments, please do so. I would love to see it. Yeah, so I can hold you accountable. All right. So thank you for tuning in. Next month, we will be going deeper into debt, debt, debt. That's what we're talking about all next month. So that's perfect that you said to eliminate your debt faster. So that is awesome. So tune in. I thank you all for tuning in with me every Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube for our Talk Tuesday. We go over different topics, like I always say. So watch a replay. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Give the videos a thumbs up. Let me know that you're enjoying them. Put in the comments. Let me know, there's something you want me to talk about. Are you enjoying it? Is it helpful? Share it with somebody who can benefit. I'm just going over all the things, huh? You're like, what should I do? You telling me 10 things to do. But just thank you. Thank you for being here with me. And I hope, as always, that these lives are beneficial to you. You have a great evening. Enjoy the rest of your night. Set your financial goals. I look forward to hearing about them. You'll be looking forward to the next topic. Awesome. All right. So I'll see you all next week. Same place, same time.